The game I have for today is called Fancy Skulls. Fancy Skulls is a first person shooter roguelike. If you don't know what a roguelike is, it's a game that is typically completely randomly generated, and this game is randomly generated. All of the rooms and enemies and floors are random, so I don't really know what I'm going into when I start each time. I've played a few runs of this game, and I have a few recorded runs of this game, but I've only included one here. It was probably the best run that I had while recording, and I think it gives you the best idea of what to expect from the game. I think this game has a lot of potential. It's not there yet, but it's got really good guts to build off of. I initially wasn't really enjoying it all that much, but after a couple of successful runs, I've warmed up to it. I'm not really a huge fan of roguelikes, generally speaking. I don't like having a lot of loot, and I don't really like randomness in my RPGs. I'm too OCD about collecting stuff to have that randomness be a very big part of it. But this game solves a lot of those issues for me. You get new guns at random, but there's a smaller pool of guns to collect, so it doesn't really feel overwhelming. You end up working with what you have. The upgrade system is nice too, since instead of finding random upgrades for things you might not have, you just buy them at a terminal. And there's one terminal on each floor, so you always know it's going to be there. I like the surrealist twinge to the enemy designs and the levels, but I could see it wearing off over time. I'd hope that in the final version of the game, there's a little more variety to the visuals. I'd give this one a shot. It takes a few tries to warm up to it, but once you're a little more familiar with the mechanics, it's easier to see how the whole thing comes together. The one last thing I'd mention is that this is a demo version of the game, and that in the final release, it'll probably end up looking a little bit better and play a little bit smoother.